John, would you give our afternoon prayer?
Father God, you are good and gracious and overall, and we ask that you bless and use these proceedings today, that we're ever mindful of your will as business is conducted. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Follow with the pledge.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call this meeting to order, and I ask the clerk to call the roll.
Mayor Johnson.
Here.
City Attorney Stevenson.
Here.
City Treasurer Martin.
Here.
Councilor McClendon.
Present.
Councilor Mundy.
Here.
Councilor Holt.
Here.
Councilor Croom.
Present.
Councilor Hutchison.
Here.
Councilor Robinson.
Present.
Councilor Catt.
Here.
Councilor Pulliam.
Here.
Councilor Taylor.
Here.
And Councilor Harris. Here. Got a full house, 10 out of 10.
Quorum present, we'll proceed with our meeting. I believe we have no bid openings today. Have a copy of the minutes in your packet. Any additions or corrections?
Motion approved is submitted.
Second.
Motion second to approve is submitted. All in favor by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. Moving on into old business is third reading on ordinance on living requirements, location. Would you read the ordinance for the third and the final time?
An ordinance to repeal Section 2.82.020 of the West Memphis Municipal Code regarding the residency requirement for city employees and for other purposes.
That concludes the third and the final reading. Could I have a motion and a second to
moved.
approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion, any discussion? All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed. Call the roll, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, Councilor McClendon. No. Councilor Mundy.
Yes.
Councilor Holt.
Yes.
Councilor Croom.
Yes.
Councilor Hutchison.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Catt.
Yes.
Councilor Pulliam.
Yes.
Councilor Taylor.
Yes.
Councilor Harris.
Yes.
9-1, it passes.
The ordinance passes. Would you give it a number?
Yes, sir. There'll be ordinance number 2479.
Moving on, we have a second reading on an ordinance to amend the section, another ordinance. Would you read the title to that one for?
An ordinance to amend Section 3.3 of ordinance number 2187 and for other purposes.
Was that the second reading?
Yes, sir.
Second reading, make a motion, we put it on for the third and final reading.
Second.
Have a motion second to read it for the third and the final time. All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Would you read it for the final time?
An ordinance to amend Section 3.3 of ordinance number 2187 and for other purposes.
You've heard it read for the third and the final time. Could I have a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. Would you give that ordinance a number?
That'll be ordinance number 2480.
Moving on, we have an ordinance on city charges or codes or a variety of items. Would you read it? This will be the third reading?
Second time.
Second reading. Read it for the second time.
An ordinance adopting and enacting a new code for the city of West Memphis, Arkansas, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, providing a penalty for the violation thereof, providing for the manner of amending such code, and providing when such code and this ordinance shall become effective.
That concludes the second reading. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules and read it for the third time?
So second.
All in favor by aye? Aye. Opposed? Read it for the third and the final time.
An ordinance adopting and enacting a new code for the city of West Memphis, Arkansas, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, providing a penalty for the violation thereof, providing for the manner of amending such code, and providing when such code and this ordinance shall become effective.
That concludes the third and the final reading. Could I have a motion and a second to
So
approve?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor by aye? Aye. Opposed? It is approved. Would you give that ordinance a number?
That'll be ordinance number 2481.
Would you read the ordinance regarding fees for this is the second reading?
An ordinance adopting fees and charges for the city of West Memphis, Arkansas.
You've heard it read for the second time. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules and place it on its third?
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Would you read it for the third and the final time?
An ordinance adopting fees and charges for the city of West Memphis, Arkansas.
That's the third and the final reading. Could I have a motion and a second to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor by aye?
Aye.
Opposed? It is carried. Would you give that ordinance a number?
That'll be ordinance number 2482.
Moving on into new business, we did not have any items brought forward for new business. I have no permission request. Committee reports, I believe the only one we had was A and P.
Yes, sir. The Advertising and Promotion Commission met on July the 19th. That meeting, we reviewed the bidding on the parking overlay for the Civic Complex and accepted the low bidder of $124,930 provided by DKB Contractors. We reviewed the bids on the HVAC. The low bidder was awarded, and it was for $173,364 to Razorback HVAC. We approved a funding request from ASU Mid-South to be their sponsor for the Left Bank Festival at the Delta Regional River Park. That funding was $15,000. We also approved some upgrades to the Big River Trail in conjunction with this sponsorship in the amount of $95,000. We approved a retail incentive proposal that allowed our economic development team to offer an incentive to a tourism-based business that wished to locate here. We reviewed the usage of the Civic Complex for June, the usage for the auditorium. There were 3 events with 735 visitors. In the Civic Center, there were 6 events with 747 visitors. We reviewed our funding information. For the month of June, our collections were $102,624,000. That is about 26% lower than it was the same month the previous year, but for the year, we're down 5.7%. That concludes my report.
Okay. I believe that's the only report we had in pre-council that was mentioned. Have no appointments. Have any announcements? Mr. Pulliam?
See if I can tentatively said it, yes.
Okay, we was looking at the meeting that we was talking about, putting together to discuss the zoning. We want to try to set it up for August 7th, around 4 o'clock.
Say, 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
August 7th, 4 o'clock.
And if you've been out of school then.
That's next Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll be back at
Okay.
work, but I'm out at 4.
Okay. Any other announcements?
Well, just remind people of the Delta Farmers Market at the Mid-South Community, ASU Mid-South, is every Saturday from 9 to 1. So go out and take advantage of it.
Also, I failed to mention that Delta Arts has their carnival this weekend, 5th, 6th, and 7th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can get on it with your iPad, so you can bid wherever. There's going to be a lot of gifts and stuff up for bid. And I think Mr. Fred Leonard is going to be one of the participants, and I think, Ramona, you're going to be one, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's some of the talent that's going to be used there. So we start tomorrow night.
Anything else?
Make a motion with adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor by aye? Aye. Opposed, we are adjourned.